So what do the leaders of religious institutions concentrating on Christianity, because it is the great whore, it is the one which claims these words, claims to own all these words, claims it has a lock and a stranglehold on the ownership of these words. And it does that so that it can have exclusive rights to the buying and selling of what these words have been turned into, to make it a commodity, to make God a commodity. Making God a commodity is part of the animal process. And it's no accident that the great whore is associated with commerce. Those who did commerce with her looked at her and couldn't believe what they saw when she was destroyed. And commerce is associated with this beast and this number. The number that's associated with Solomon and the amount of gold he collected. But what's really being done by this beast, by this whore, by this institution that claims to own these words, is the reason why they want to own the words. Because what they really love is to be able to buy and sell God, to be able to own the way to God by knowing what these words say, by owning the Messiah that these words speak of, but turning their Messiah into something they can control. And by owning the way to God, by knowing the way to God, because they know what these words say, and by the great good God who's spoken of in here being on their side for them, because they made him up, so of course he's on their side. By having that God on their side, they can own the way, and they can charge this toll, tax, whatever you want to call it. And the significant currency that they're aiming to get by controlling this way to God and buying and selling it, by having it for sale, the significant currency that they aim to get and that they do get is not necessarily the money they take in when they pass their bucket around. It's significant, but that's too easy. That's too easy to point at and say, look at these hypocrites. It's too easy to say, look at them passing their bucket around and begging for money, when the Jesus they claim to follow said that the things that man loves are detestable to God, like money. Money was the context that he was talking in at the time to the leaders, who it says, who loved money. It's too easy to point to money as the currency that these animals love, who are selling the way to God because they own the words, they own these words, they own the interpretation of these words. It is significant and it is something, but it's not the real power. The real power is in the other currency that they're trying to get for themselves. That is the validation of the animals who listen to them and agree that they know the way to God. That agreement is signified by their giving money, yes. But the more powerful thing is their conformity and their agreement with these leaders and their conformity to that particular institution, saying, yes, we agree that you know the way to God. Because saying that, yes, we agree that you know the way to God, also says, encompassed within that statement, we agree that you have the right to sell the way to God and get more currency. Not just financial, not just money to pay your salaries, so that you can finance your lying, finance your mythology, finance your comic book interpretation of the good gods fighting the bad gods, and you knowing the way to find favor with the good gods, and you being willing to sell that way for the price, which is agreement. Encompassed within that agreement, that saying, yes, we agree, we trust you, we conspire with you and with that snake that says our purpose is valid, our purpose is good. God wants you to know the way. God wants you to know the way to Him. God wants you to be guaranteed within yourself that you understand that you are saved. That this Jesus, if you believe in Him, and I use these quote signs because all those words are made up. All those words are twisted into what man wants them to be for his own sake.